Hello everybody, what we're going to do now is look at how to create a photo report and notes to support that photo report. So just looking backwards a little bit, we've got some feedback from Miss Dilnut here saying, can I give some more information about the users, who they are, age, etc. This is called biometric data. I'd forgotten to put it in before, so I've just added in literally two things here. You can go a little bit more detail. I've left a little bit out here, but their name and their age. So there we go, and then I've said done on there. Next one. Miss Dilnut has some feedback here. Beforehand, I just put in the interview and my sort of analysis there. She wasn't sure that these things came from Laura or came from me. Remember, when Miss Dilnut and I read your portfolios, we are approaching it as if we're the examiner, and the examiner will approach it as if they have absolutely no knowledge of anything. So you have to tell them everything, make everything super clear. So that was a good point from her. What I've done is I've simply modified it by adding in that part there. That's all I added in, and that changes that paragraph so that it's obvious that it comes from my thoughts. So this is my thinking about what Laura told me. She's also said, what research could you use to help narrow down the problems? So I've said this box, I've called this box things I need to know. And I've chosen 3 things there, which will be helpful for me to go forward. She's also said to add a design brief. I'm going to leave that for a little while until I've done the next stage. So I've told Miss Dilnut there what I've done, and I'm ready to move on. So the next stage is what's called the photo report. Now, to save time, I've gone ahead and put these photos into the PowerPoint slide already. You can see here a selection of photos, and these are basically all photos of toothbrushes, aren't they? Because that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at. What I've done is I've taken my phone and I've gone around my house and I've photoed all of the different things that are to do with the problem that I'm looking at. And remember, the problem that I'm going to look at is an indestructible toothbrush. I'm not entirely sure whether that's possible at the moment, but I'm going to look at that problem. I've sort of got a backup problem here. Freezer box, maybe. I don't know. But let's concentrate on toothbrushes to begin with. So first of all, I've said Laura's husband's electric toothbrush, so that's my toothbrush. There you go. This has removable brush heads that become frayed and less effective. Some of you might have experienced this obviously yourself. So there's a close-up photo showing the fraying of the toothbrush, the splaying out of the bristles. These brush heads, when they come off, you can't recycle them. They just have to go in the bin. That's a large amount of plastic there that it's such a complicated thing that it can't be recycled easily. Okay then, so also on my travels around my house looking at toothbrushes, I found Laura's sort of attempt to make us more sustainable, and it's these things. These are toothbrushes that are made from bamboo. They have obviously a sustainability advantage over this one in particular. So here's a very bad example of a sustainable toothbrush. This one, much better. So I'm going to add in a text box and I'm going to write some notes about this here. So these are Laura's effort to become more sustainable in the bathroom. She has a set of bamboo toothbrushes. Laura says, so what I'm going to do now is quote her directly. So she said to me, well, they are great compared to the electric toothbrush, but they are a little bit damp. Is basically damp. Damp is basically what she was saying. Because they're bamboo. Bamboo is a very resistant sort of material to water, but it's not as resistant to water as a piece of plastic is. So these do get a little bit sort of damp and soggy and potentially unhygienic. This could be potentially unhygienic. Did I spell unhygienic? Right, I did. So I've taken also a couple of close-up photos there of particularly the end of this one. It's sort of got all like black and a little bit horrible. Potentially it's gone a little bit mouldy even, which obviously is not very nice for something that you're brushing your teeth with. Let's give them their due though. The benefit of these is that when they are thrown away, they will biodegrade, which means obviously that they will rot and they will disappear. The plastic ones from the electric toothbrush will stay buried underground pretty much forever, thousands of years. These ones will disappear within a year or so. So, just going to shrink that down a little bit, make that a bit smaller. There we go. All right then, so that's the bamboo toothbrushes that Laura has. They're good in that they can be thrown away and they will biodegrade, but they're a little bit sort of, little bit unhygienic potentially. All right then, on to this next photo. So this was under Laura's kitchen sink. She said, before I had these bamboo toothbrushes, we had normal plastic toothbrushes. And she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there were more. There were loads and loads of toothbrushes, all with the bristles, all sort of wonky and bent out of shape, so they weren't very good at toothbrushes anymore. These ones are all our children's ones, these little ones. Children tend to chew their toothbrush. So let's put in some notes about that. This photo shows Laura's collection of old toothbrushes. Odd thing to collect. That she has not thrown away. She wants to reuse them for something, but to be honest, they have sat under her kitchen sink for years. So she'd like to reuse them, but they are not being reused. They're just sitting there doing nothing. Let's see if we can put that in. There we go. So potential reuse of toothbrushes. We're going to find out about that now. The next photo shows it's in my workshop, so out in the garden. So there I have a plastic bottle cut in half, and inside that plastic bottle I have a load of things like pens, pencils, and a load of old toothbrushes. So about 4 or 5 toothbrushes. These ones are mucky, so these are toothbrushes that I have reused. I use them to clean, particularly cleaning bits of bikes that are difficult to get to, cleaning up insides of things that it's impossible to get cloths into. This is a good reuse for an old toothbrush that isn't any good for cleaning teeth anymore, but it can still be used. The problem is, it looks like we're going through toothbrushes quicker than we are using them up for something else. The likely fate of these things, just landfill, being thrown into landfill. And there's the sustainability problem that we want to solve. So let's add some notes about these. In Laura's husband's shed, there was a collection of old toothbrushes that he uses for cleaning bikes and other odd jobs. This was a good way to reuse the old toothbrush. The problem is Laura has more old toothbrushes that she is collecting for no real reason. They will probably end up in landfill. Okay, so what can I say about the photo report? Number one, it has to be real. Just like the interview on this slide, these are real questions that I really asked to my wife. I basically knew what she was going to say to begin with, but I asked her anyway to get some extra input, some real input. On here, these are real photos that I've taken today. I took them half an hour ago. If you try and sort of save yourself time and get images from the internet, you miss out on that opportunity to get real valuable information into your portfolio, and it will be very obvious, very, very obvious. That, I think, is it for the photo report. I'll share this now with Miss Dillnut, and she will give me some feedback, and if I've missed anything, I'm sure that she will let me know. That is everything then. Sum up: proper photos, real photos that you've taken, and your own analysis of those photos. Thanks very much.